Hey everybody, welcome back to the LearnAPCalc series here at LearnAP. In this video, we'll be talking about a quick overview of limits. So what a limit is, limits from each side, why a limit does or does not exist, asymptotes and holes, rules about limits, and later I'll reveal your new favorite limit. As usual, leave a comment if you're confused or have questions, or you can also ask in the weekly live streams we do every Sunday from 4 to 5 p.m. Eastern, where we answer your questions about AP Calc. Other than that, we'll get started. Alright, so let's start by talking about limits. Well, you might be wondering, what is a limit? A limit is determined by the value that f of x approaches as x reaches a, and would be denoted like so. So let's say we have a graph here, and we have some function, f of x, and we'll say at x equals a, there's a hole. Now the limit as x reached a of f of x, we're looking at what value the function approaches, not the value that it reaches. So as we get really, really close to a, we're approaching, let's say, 5. We're not going to actually get there, but we're getting really, really close to it. So we would say the limit is 5 because that's the value we're approaching as x goes to a. Alright, so you might be wondering, well, how do we evaluate a limit? How do I know what a limit is without looking at the graph? Well, if a limit exists, you can evaluate it by direct substitution. Note that if the substitution returns 0 over 0 or infinity over infinity, the function is indeterminate. There's other indeterminate forms like 1 to the infinity, infinity minus infinity, etc. But for right now, you should really just worry about these two. So if you get these two, you have an indeterminate. The limit might exist or it might not. Note that limits do not have to approach a whole number. They can also go to infinity and minus infinity. So I could say limit as x goes to infinity of 1 over x, and this would be something acceptable. Note that any number over infinity is going to equal 0, and infinity over any whole number equals infinity. So just something to keep in mind. Limits can also go to infinity, so if I had limit as x goes to infinity of x squared, direct substitution, infinity squared, we're just going to get infinity. Alright, so as I alluded to earlier, this is your new favorite limit. A limit as x goes to 0 of sine of x over x equals 1. So again, if you plug this in with direct substitution, you get 0 over 0. There is a way to solve this and see that it does equal 1. But for right now, just trust me, this equals 1. Do whatever you have to do to memorize this. Maybe you want to tattoo it backwards on your forehead, so every time you look in the mirror you see sine of x over x as x goes to 0 equals 1. And here's a quick graph demonstrating that at 0 we equal 1. Alright, now let's talk about limit rules. So the first one is saying that we can pull constants out of a limit. So if I had a limit as x goes to 3 of 3x squared, this would be equal to 3 times the limit as x goes to 3 of x squared. Similarly, if we're adding functions inside of a limit, I can just add them in their separate limits here. Same thing goes for multiplication and division. And note that the limit as x goes to anything of a constant is just that constant. Alright, so that brings me to today's challenge problem. Evaluate the limit sine of x to the 5th over 5x cubed as x goes to 0. The solution to this problem is on our website, learn-ap.com. I'll also include a direct link in the description. If you found this video helpful, please like and be sure to subscribe for future content. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter for updates about our new videos and live streams, which we do every Sunday where we answer your questions about AP Calc. And that's going to be from 4 to 5 p.m. Eastern. Links for that stuff will also be in the description. If you guys are looking for resources to help you learn AP Calc, be sure to check out our resource recommendation video. I'll put a link to that in the description as well. Finally, leave a comment if you're still confused about anything, or also any other comments on the video in general. Other than that, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.